The question is, do I want to change anything? I don't think I do. I'm pretty happy with the list. My only thought is taking out a flicker for the extra Skyclave, but I think I just really like the Flicker Wisp. 3 more powder kegs in the main. Nice. Yeah, Sophie's always an interesting one that I'm never sure what I want to bring it in against, because I always feel like the current equipment package is great against Blue Red Delver. I really like Cataclysm against decks like Bant, especially when they're going for basics early on. But I think I'm pretty happy just to run this back and see how it performs. Yeah. Hey Max. Oh, you're from Italy? Very cool. Alright. Play points. Back into it. Why don't you like Cataclysm vs. Bant? Just isn't that the Caldra works really nice alongside Batterskull. There's a really good article on the Min-Max blog by John C. Where is it? Where actually is it? Have a read of this. Yeah, double white can sometimes be an issue. I can definitely understand that. Not too keen on a one-lander. But I am keen on a one-lander with a Vial. I'll keep this and bottom the Solitude. Flooded Strand, sure. Force. Definitely puts us behind. But we do have some pretty good draws. Trop. Sylvan Library? Nice. Could definitely see the opponent taking 8 here. Seeing we just missed a land drop, it's pretty huge. They draw 1 extra. Cool. Okay. Well, we can turn off the library here, which is nice. Probably just want to go for Stoneforge here into Caldra to get a real threat going. And then next turn, if we draw a land, we can Caldra and Thalia. Which is pretty sweet. I don't want to attack here either, because they can make a colorless creature that's a 1/1. Which I could swords, but I'd rather keep the swords for something else. Like the Uro in the bin. It's going to be interesting to see what they get with the Saga. I'm not sure if it's just Foundry as the kind of go-to in these grinding matchups, or if there's something more targeted for death and taxes. Like Pithing Needle would be pretty good here. They get Foundry. I probably just want to Swords a Construct here, unfortunately, to then get in with Caldra next turn that won't actually die. But then Uro is going to be a big issue. I think I actually don't mind just untapping, because I think I have to keep the swords for the Uro. And we do have Flicker Whispers outs. To reset the Caldra, which is nice. Wonder if they play Stifle? Stifle would be pretty spice. This is a tough one. I kind of hope my opponent just puts all their turn into the Uro. They don't attack. Now that's really interesting. Another Uro, sure. Okay. CBR MTG. How you going? Good to see you. I hope you're well. So this is an interesting one. I can either play both Revoker and Thalia. I think that's best, or else these constructs are just going to get too far out of control. Oh, they're not even going to respond. That's really fun. You like leading on Jit? Yeah, maybe now I just hold up the Jide. I probably don't even want to... I actually don't mind Thalia. The only thing that Thalia means this turn is that we can't play Jide, equip Jide, and cast swords next turn. But if we hold up Jide here, instead we can put it in, untap, and then if we draw a land, we can sword something, equip Jide, and also play Thalia. So I think because of that, I'm going to hold up Jide here, and swords to some extent if I really need it. But I don't think I want to attack with the Cauldron this turn, because I can't really save it just yet. How's the Legacy meta since Modern Horizons 2? Pretty open, which is nice. A good bunch of decks. I think you would really like the Affinity deck that's running around. It's doing pretty well. It got hated out pretty quickly by a lot of the challenges had the deck playing, so that was pretty good. Ah, it's indestructible. Oh, of course I should have attacked with it. Of course. Still learning new things with these new cards. Classic. It is indestructible. Yes, correct. Okay. Then I probably would have loved to attack. Yeah. Yeah. Apologies. Apologies. Rough. Yeah, it's a little bit like Questing Beast. It's like if Questing Beast was a artifact equipment. Anzilul? Nice. Alright. Here we go. Oh, nice. Trample's really nice here as well. I wonder why they're not casting the Uro. They're holding up like Endurance? I'm definitely holding up the Batterskull here. Because getting the Batterskull onto this Caldra is definitely some sort of bucket list action for Magic right now. Yeah, I'm not sure why they're not Uroing either. Maybe they don't want to fetch. But I'm not sure why they wouldn't want to fetch. But yeah, Caldra really good here. If they're playing Teferi, that's an out to bounce the actual artifact. There's the third Uro. That's going to be okay. All right. Oof. Close. I probably don't mind attacking with both of these and seeing how they block. Because if they try to just block with one, we can give it -1/-1 to make it a 3/3. They kind of have to double block with the constructs. Yeah, or kill the servo, that's correct. Yeah, that's a good one. No blocks. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't mind turning off the fetch here. That does keep them off the extra green they need for the Uros in the bin. Oh, that's first strike as well? No. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, first strike and Jit obviously has some really nice upsides. I'm not sure what my opponent has as an out here. Yeah, that's a tough one. Terminus would be interesting. We didn't see white. It looks like Rug, but don't count me on that. All right, Jack, how would you sideboard for this game? I don't mind the rips. I probably don't mind these. These four are probably the cards that I'm looking at. Rip mainly for Uro, but I guess it also hits if they're playing something like Mystic Sanctuary. First strike too. Probably don't mind taking out like trimming on Mum and Swords. Yeah, missed second land drop that turn, and luckily just hit our strides. Opponent losing the ability to look at extra cards with that Sylvan Library really hurt them. They had a few basics, so I could see like a trim on Wasteland as well, but maybe that's too greedy with Cataclysm. Maybe something like this? Actually, Solitude I can take out and keep in the Wisp. Powder Keg Tech? I guess Powder Keg does answer the tokens, which is pretty funny. I'm just going to trim a little bit and see how this goes. Maybe there's a world where Rip isn't needed. But it is nice to turn off their graveyard as a resource. This is a one-lander, but I will keep it because it has double vial. Yeah, Sword's pretty interesting, but it's just a case again of finding that these three hold up pretty well. But Sword of Fire and Ice is pretty nice. Okay. Interesting. I like having 2 vials as well, because they most likely have Prismatic Ending as a removal card. And I really want to make sure... Wow, no turn 1, no turn 2 play. I think here I'm happy just to jam the Spirit. But Swords to Plowshares would be pretty rough. It could just be play the second vial here. You're the kind of opponent who always has turn 1 vial. Haha. Yeah, sometimes just get lucky. So if they kept a hand with Plains Forest, I assume they have a removal spell. So I think just to play, not play into that, I'm happy just to play the second vial here, which is still a fine play. But we do get highly rewarded for playing out Spirited Labyrinth if they don't have a removal spell, and then want to brainstorm or ponder this turn. Still nothing. Hey Boyd, cool to see you. I hope you're well. Alright, ticking both of these up. We'll go with this one first. Which is not how I ordered it. But that's okay. If we get a port here, we don't. But I think I'm happy just to pass and use these vials. However, playing a creature like Stoneforge Mystic here could force my opponent. Hey Mark, welcome. I hope you're doing well. Hope your guitar is going nice. Yeah, I think I'm in a pretty good situation that I don't really need to cast anything. I mean, if they end-step Brainstorm, I want to have the Spirit, but if they do nothing again, I just want to put the Stoneforge into play. Really interesting hand for them not to have anything yet. Sug is going to be fine. Good, thanks, man. Started learning guitar, which has been really fun. It's pretty rewarding. You got to put in the reps, but it definitely pays off. There is a world where I could be super patient and have another vial up. Swords. Floating a mana. Okay. Interesting that they do it now, because now I'm just going to get the Jade from the deck. I think what they should have done is waited for me to actually get something like Caldra and then Swords, because that would just be a dead card in my hand. But here, getting Jade is actually quite nice, because we have the mana for it anyway. Yeah, Panda, I definitely get laggy a few times, which can be pretty infuriating. Alright. I think here I'm happy to go for... this way, so that I always have a vial on 2 for Spirit if they try to brainstorm in response to either. Nothing. Why did they float? I'm not too sure. Maybe they thought I had Thalia out. That's the only thing I can think of. Hey L3 Park, welcome. I hope you're doing well. I could see myself recruiting for a mother as well. This is going to be fine. They're going to harvest. Spirit does not stop this because it just puts the hand into their library. Or the card into their hand, so... Any changes to the deck from your last challenge? Are you talking about Maverick? There have been some changes since, you know what it's called. Since Modern Horizons 2. I think here we're just going to recruit her for Stoneforge Mystic to really get some beats going. Caldra. wow, nothing. Okay, well these aren't switching anytime soon. Always no, always no. Now we can kind of just sit back. This is where D&T feels really nice. Judgment. Non-land. This is like a banned mid-range controlish deck. In game 1 we saw Urza Saga and Uro, and a few spells like Spirit, Sylvan Library, but yeah, other than that, not too much. Happy just to attack with the Caldra and not the Recruiter. I don't want to force an action where I have to flicker it or use the Swords to Plowshares on a blocker that I don't really consider a threat. I'd rather keep the swords for something like Uro. Remember Needle? Ah, yeah, Needle's actually pretty good here. I wonder if I just want to phase out the Urza's Saga. Maybe that's the play. And just keep phasing it out and attacking. We do have Council's Judgment. But if they counter the Council's Judgment, then we're in a really bad spot. Flickering it out does allow us to draw into Wasteland as well. I feel like they have a reactive hand because they haven't really built out the board, so I'm going to assume at least a force and a blue card. So if they do untap, make another 2/2, go and get Pith Needle, name Vial, and the Judgment doesn't resolve, we still have a pretty good board. Hey Arkan, welcome. I hope you're doing well. Obviously doing... I actually am. Yeah, I like Flicker. Because I just feel like their hand is something that can't deal with the Vials, so keeping them online at any cost is what I want to do here. And at least doing an end step here means they don't get back till their end step. This feels like a prismatic ending on the Jitte. That's going to be okay. The question here is, do I want to put in the Spirit? And I think I do. If I draw another 2-drop, I really want to have that on hand as well. They didn't prismatic ending the Germ either, which is interesting. So they really cared about that Jitte. Skyclave's pretty nice. I probably don't mind just swords here and get aggressive. They are going to fetch. Icefink Waddle could be okay here. They don't draw a card. Oh, they do draw a card off the Spirit, which is interesting. They're going to swords that. Huh. Interesting, with double Forest up. I feel like this is something that I want to save. So they'll be taking 10 and going to 5. I kind of just want to keep the Flicker Wisp. Just in case of some sort of like Terminus effect. I'd rather keep the Flickwisp to reset the Caldra. Because then that's 8, which means that even like life gain from Uro isn't enough. But it is tempting. But here's Terminus. Yeah, that's fine. Now we just have it because we have the Flickwisp. Unless they have Path. Sorry, Prismatic. Nice. Very cool. Yeah, it would have been rough if we used the Flickwisp there to save the Spirit and then lost everything. We would have been able to attack for 2, but even then. Very nice. Prismatic Ending is a sorcery. I guess they were at 5, yeah. I was going to say they could Prismatic Ending the Flickwisp, but it doesn't matter, which is nice. But yeah, Cauldron that is so good. But opponent had a really interesting hand that... I'm not too sure what they had. Maybe there's a world where they didn't force the turn 1 Vial because they wanted to force something else, but we didn't really give them a situation to force anything else, which is kind of nice. Alright. Hey, JRE. Yeah, I've had a few people say that. This is a sweet hand. Happy to keep this. Turn 1 Vial, turn 2 Port. We have Mum or File for 1. We have removal in Skyclave. Yeah, Caldra's really nice. I love it with the flicker effects of Flickwisp as well. Are just really, really awesome. Hand's a little rough against combo, but we do have some disruption in Port, which is cool. Alright, opponent goes to 6. File resolves. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of, like, I'm sure that even when I saw that card first up, I was like, it might see play in D&T, but it's just so phenomenal how hard it is for some decks to beat and how quick it closes out games, which is really cool. Bloodstain Mire. Hey Dreadnought. Oh yeah, we have a few number of viewers, which is very cool. Okay. Okay. It's just gonna be like Tess? Taiga. Oh, okay, we're looking at Oopsal spells again. Burning Wish, okay. Echo? That's not too bad. We actually have a pretty good hand for Echo if it does stick around. Or maybe it's just empty. Taiga as Tess? Yeah. Empty. Okay. I guess, I believe Stoneforge Mystic is okay here. Just with 12. Stoneforge into Batterskull should do it. Yeah, unfortunately just dead. Tough. Alright. Swords to Plowshares. Probably some number of Flickwisp. Solitude. Deafening Silence. Powder Keg. Surgical. Rest in peace. Could just be a Skyclave. Powder Keg kind of taking the spot of Skyclave. Yeah, I don't think it's great to bring in these, but I think they're better than the cards we're taking out. That's the only thing. At least they have some sort of impact on the game. Really relies on... I mean, this is a pretty nice hand. We'll keep this. Turn 1 Deafening Silence into Prelate with Mum backup is pretty good. And then just to have Surgical is pretty nice. I think Flick Wisp is better than Jit just because it can buy some time. Also, just getting above 20 life is pretty nice to make sure that that we can live through a small Tendrils. But yeah, I could definitely see Jit being a card I take out. I mean, Rip hits are Rider Flame and Echo, which isn't too bad, but happy to lead on Deafening Silence here. Opponent went to 5 cards as well. Definitely not saying that Graveyard Hate is the be-all end-all against Tez or Ant, but I feel it does a little bit more than some of the worst cards in the deck. I'm probably just naming 4 with Prelate. Turns off Past in Flames, Empty, Massacre, Tendrils. Naming 1 or 2 can be a little bit dicey, and with Thalia with Mum already in play, I'm pretty happy just to name the ways they actually have to win. I guess Burning Wish can change things. But I think for now, naming 4 is fine. Massacre would be a pretty big blowout. And I'm not too sure if these combo decks are on things like Fatal Push still, or if they're on like Abrupt Decay, or just bounce spells like Echoing Truth or Chain of Vapor. So it's definitely a mix of 1 or 2s that I'm pretty tough, or find pretty tough. Yeah, I guess the Chrome Moxes was a good giveaway. We'll attack first. And then the question is, do I want a Stoneforge for Kaldra or Stoneforge for Batterskull? And I think I just want a Stoneforge for Kaldra to close out the game. Because next turn we're swinging for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's a 2-turn clock if we get Kaldra, which is really nice. And I probably just want to name LED with Revoker here. They're fetching in response. I don't think this is because they think Revoker can name fetch lands. Maybe it is. Interesting. I'm just gonna name Lion's Diamond. I guess I could name Wishclaw. I think with Deafening Silence in play, I don't really care about the artifacts, so I might actually go for Wishclaw here. But something like end step removal on Prelate, make us use Mum, untap, use removal, go off is something that I have to be considerate of here. Consider it. Nothing. Thalia? A 2-drop would be nice here. Wasteland's pretty good. Wasteland hitting green is probably where I want to be to turn off Abrupt Decay. But I could see hitting blue to turn off cantrips. Also turns off like Echoing Truth, which, yeah, maybe the blue was better. Because them taking Kaldra off the board's pretty huge. Nothing, wow. Cool. Probably just boarding the same. Yeah. Really want that turn 1 Deafening Silence. Huh, okay. Another pretty nice hand. Too late, and it's in the opener. I'm not too sure what... Yeah, if it's just better to have more creature... Like, maybe another Flickwisp in the deck. I guess Flickwisp can, as best case, maybe flicker a Chromox. Jide does also make some of our creatures a bit more of a threat by adding 4 damage to the race each turn. Cage can stop, yeah. Yeah, maybe Cage is okay. Cage stopping Echo can be good. And even like small things like Flashback Cabal Therapy on Abrupt Decay, if they play that. Hey Bubbles, welcome. I hope you're doing well. Opponent went to 6. Let's start with Petal. Okay. Petal Brainstorm? Rider Flame, okay. Maybe there's a world where if they try to Rider Flame again, I can Surgical the first Rider Flame. They get an Echo. Yeah, there is a world where I want to hit LED here. Because I'm probably not going to get another use of it. It does add Storm count, but I think that's okay. Alright, so we have 2 Decays, Adnors, 2 Chains, 3 Wish, Galvanic Ray, very cool card, Relay, sorry, 1 more Echo, Wish Claw, Tendrils, cool. Alright, we can only hope. Not the worst hand, but obviously a little bit slow. Pondish is fine. If they did shuffle here, I'm not sure if I would Wasteland. They chose not to shuffle, okay. And just a pass. The question for me is Wasteland better here if I can slow them down a little bit? You like not wasting? Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's like a world where Wasteland puts them in a position where they're back to 1 land, and it just gives us 1 more draw to try to draw into Deafening Silence to just play straight away. Yeah, that's my only thought. I just feel a little bit rough if we go like Plains Pass. But Sea is also a pretty important dual land. Not only does it allow them to cantrip, it also allows them to start off with something like Dark Ritual. I'm going to go with my gut. That's why we're here. Just really hope that Underground Sea counts. I probably don't want a 6 either. They did see Surgical already, so maybe there's a world where they take another Surgical into consideration. If I don't draw a 1-mana spell next turn as well, I probably just want to cast the Port, or play the Port instead of the Plains to try to draw into Karakas as my white source to play around like Burning Wish for Massacre. We Surgical to LEDs. Wisp. Tega. Ah, so close. I assume this is just Adnors. Burning Wish. Well, they went for empty. Interesting. Even though we have Stoneforge in hand. Is it still too much? Maybe it is. I think it is. They have 1 black floating, but it doesn't do anything. So Stoneforge hits 1, we take 11, go to 7. And then... we take 11 and then 5? Batterskull. One card left. So we get to block 1. Mum? Mum would be perfect. A 1-mana creature would be insane here. No. I feel like we take 11, we gain... oh, we block 1. Yeah, okay. We really want to see a shuffle here because Abrupt Decay is really bad. They chose to shuffle. Okay. I guess they could also, like, kill the goblin that we block. Wow. Okay. Wishclaw. Sure. Wasteland. We definitely attack for 4. And then I guess we take them off as much mana as possible so they can't claw for Abrupt Decay. They will get Chain. I guess we can hope they don't have another mana, and then we can Wasteland and Thalia this turn. Because Wasteland takes them away from 1, and then they have to use 1 for Wishclaw. Because if I use the port here, they can just upkeep use this anyway. So I think Thalia is best here. If they have any, yeah, any mana source we die, but we can't really do anything else. We just have to 6 here. Yeah, upkeep port takes them off 1 mana, but Thalia also takes them off 1 mana and is a blocker. This is fine. Yeah, thankfully Thalia gets there. Definitely a slog. Oh, it's an opal. Wow. They're still attacking. Interesting. Could have 2. Yeah, Wisping Chromox might be the best play. Imagine if we had a keg. If we're playing Wisp, then I can probably just keep up Caracas for Thalia, just in case it's needed. Hey Jimbo, welcome. So we're definitely attacking first. There's also a world where we could just not care about Batterskull right now, or Life Gain, because we're at 6 and we have enough blockers. But that I could just reset Stoneforge, but I think I just want to go after the Chromox here. Try to take him off a bit of mana. Because we can just equip the Germ to Flickwisp next turn, which is pretty sweet. Sweet game, but hey, Untap Upkeep, thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what you play in Legacy. And to anyone else, welcome to Dukes on Twitch. I hope you're enjoying this. It's always fun to play some D&T. Peace Bomb, thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what you play in Legacy. Nice. Very cool. Absolute 85. Thank you for following. I hope you enjoy it. Will I be making the rescheduled Masters? I sadly don't believe so because I do have some work commitments on those days, but I'll hopefully get into Melbourne soon because Melbourne has a fantastic Eternal format with some fantastic people and there's some really good coffee and food down there. So, and it's funny because I believe right now Melbourne's actually doing okay with COVID, but it seems like most of the other states aren't. So there's been a big kind of a shift. Oof. If you guys like this content, check me out on YouTube. I did nearly 10 leagues this week streamed. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah. Which will all be up in online in the days to come. Up against Grizzle Puff. I think this is Bob. We're definitely gonna mulligan this one-hander. This is a one-lander, but it does have Vial. Alright. We do require to wear masks. Or we are required. Alright. Getting Vial down is really nice. Obviously with this hand. Really cool to get that game from Tess. I thought we were in a really tough spot, but thankfully, oh, Grindstone. Alright, up against Painter. Which, if we don't draw a land here, it's pretty rough, but otherwise, we're good to go. Yikes. See how it is. Especially something like if they can Painter and Pyroblast the Vial in the same turn, I'd be pretty unhappy. Urza is pretty strong. Yikes. I mean, we have an out here of Revoker and Swords to Plowshares. I guess Port saves some time. It might even just be Thalia upkeep. Oh, Thalia now. Doesn't really matter. And then just Port Volk in upkeep. Try to get to Skyclave. And just hope they don't have a like soul land here. Pretty tough though. I think this is a LED. Okay, well, playing Ragavan as well. Not sure why. All right, playing against Painter. I don't mind the extra parts, especially seeing Ragavan. Powder Cake's coming in. I don't mind Solitude. This is actually an interesting one where I'm not too sure how I want to trim. But it might just be trimming. Maybe I don't need the extra path. I just really want to have a 1 CMC removal spell for Painter. tough. I'm just going to drop the other mum. There is some world where I keep just one spirit in, but I think both are still fine. Rip for goblins is pretty nice. Interesting hand. Stoneforge for Kaldra is pretty good. 3-pair go fish. Nah, there's a better hand. This isn't it. But don't want to go any lower. I think I'm happy to drop the second Wasteland. Try to keep Council's Judgment and Wisp. Maybe Wisp is what I don't need here. There is a world where double Wasteland just gets there as well, so... What does Ponder do? Chose not to shuffle. Now this is interesting. I think I still just like Spirit here. I wouldn't mind seeing Spirit getting forced, because it just means that it's one less counter magic spell for Swords to Plowshares. Force, pitch, force, sure. Kept in force negation, interesting. Misty, pass, prelate. I could be really aggressive with the Wasteland here by Wastelanding the Misty, but I think that's just a bit too aggressive to stop the fetch. I'll just stop the fetch after to stop the shuffle effect. There we go. But I think for me it's probably needed right now. I mean, 4 cards does it. Land, LED, Painter, Grindstone. Cool. Happy to hit this. The Wasteland isn't really doing much for us anyway. We do have double white spells in hand, so... It's also tough if we draw a white source and we play prelate. Do we name one? Bob probably thinking about casting LED or Lotus Petal out early to play around Thalia. Always stay hydrated, nice. Yeah, I brought back the Wisp in place of Charming Prince, just because of the upside of being able to flicker Kaldra, I thought was bigger than having that one land. Port isn't great, but I think here I'm happy to Wasteland the Urza Saga and then just port the island and upkeep. Again, Wasteland not doing much on this board other than keeping them off mana. Now I'm probably happy to attack them off the mountain to turn off, at least try to turn off a dashed Ragavan if they do have another colored source that isn't red. What is the temperature right now in Australia? I think mid, like 20s? Oh, it's currently 14 degrees. There we go. Degrees Celsius. I don't mind swordsing right now, which is a little bit tough, but to have Solitude back up is nice. But yeah, maybe there's a world where the Wasteland was better for us just to tap with Port, to keep us allowing to use Port. Well, this can definitely be TNT sometimes. I'm going to tap down the Saga so they can't make a 2-2 until their next turn. Well, there's Grindstone. I am going to Path here, because then I can untap and play Prelate on 1 if I draw a white source. Okay. I can only assume they have a removal spell with Urza Saga, maybe some sort of bounce spell bomb, which is going to be tough to beat. I guess they could also get LED. They get the Pirate Spell Bomb. Okay. They try to go for it. Okay. Hopefully Force Blue card isn't what's left in Bob's hand. Okay. To start. Probably just want to get Jide here. And play it. And unfortunately he was a 6. They know about the Caldra, so they kind of have to deal with the Stoneforge here if they can't win this turn, because then we get to put in Caldra, equip Jide. But if they deal with the Pyrite here, if they deal with the Stoneforge, they can't deal with the Prelate. Unless they do something else. They attack as well. Interesting. Maybe they have a Braid? I guess any draw is live here, because even other than Vial, Wisp. Okay. Yikes. Staticast is really good. It's tough because they have like an I win button here and they just have to find the other side of it. Land. Ah, it is Vial. Rough. I actually need 2 lands. It's 6, 7 to cast, unfortunately. They have so many live draws, makes this really tough. All right. Pretty happy just to hold that instead of doing anything. Alright, tick up Vial. Spirit is tough with Staticaster, so that's a no-go. Rishadan Port should be able to tap target creature as well. That's when I think it would reach Legacy power level at this stage. Still not worth putting in the Spirit. I think we tick this up to 3 just because Instant Speed, Flicker Wisp, or Skyclave does save us from the combo. Because we drew the Mummer now, and we also want this to start ticking up, that I'm happy just to reset here. Yeah, I'm not sure why they're not grinding. Definitely could be. Especially against a mono-white deck. See if they do anything here. No. Okay. Alright. So this one is always no. And this one can go up. Swords. Skyclave. Perfect. Alright. That's a really nice start. Okay, this isn't a draw effect, so I'm happy to allow this to happen. I can't even put in the Spirit, so... I thought for a second I could. But them tapping out more is just only a good thing. A little bit risky here, taking out the Staticaster and putting the Skyclave, not holding that for actually the combo, but I think that's okay. Could be creature hate. I could definitely see a response here for some sort of like bolt or a braid on the Mother of Runes. Gut shot. Okay. Nice, that's pretty perfect. All right. Now we're in a pretty good position. We have Flicker Wisp for the combo, and then we also have Spirit in response to some sort of Brainstorm. I'm probably happy putting in the Spirit here, just to speed up the actual race. And then we also have Flicker Wisp to save it if we really need to. This is always no. Flagstones. I guess Sulfur Elemental is an old school card that Bob might be playing, which would be pretty good. There is a world where I could also use the Jide once, because then 3 still kills Painter. Nothing from Bob's really weird. Sword of Fire and Ice is probably pretty good in this matchup, but Painter does turn it off by naming blue, and then the creature that's equipped to Sword of Fire and Ice does get pushed off it because it has pro blue, or the creature does, and the sword is a blue permanent now. Just for those who are unfamiliar with the matchup. Yeah, I definitely haven't felt the need to bring in Sword, which is kind of sad, but... Bob having a good think. I feel like they have to go for the combo this turn, and they're trying to think the best way to do it. It might start with a Braid on the Jide. Painter, sure. Hydroblast on Jit. Is there any reason here why I don't just go for Neg on the Servant? I guess they respond with Grindstone. So we neg on Grindstone. Oh, we neg on Painter. In response to the last one, they activate Grindstone. Yeah, so I think we see how this occurs. They have to respond to the second one as well. Which is pretty good for us. Yeah, so now what happens, unfortunately, is we get to try to kill it, and then in response to Grindstone again. So now we actually have the upper hand, which is kind of cool. The only other world I see is them having another Painter's Servant, and they try to go off with that. Yeah, they're going to let it slide, which also means that this doesn't get countered, which is cool. I guess this also means that they don't have to go off this turn. I know the Grindstone's fine. Huh. So now it's a case of do they have Bolt? Because what I could do is end step flicker out the Scalding Tarn, and then have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lethal. Or I could just try to do it over 2 turns, which I think I'm fine with. A land off the top is also pretty good, because it means that I can just hardcast Kaldra for the win. Swords. Okay, that's pretty good as well. I'm not going to pump, because if they did have Bolt, they could Bolt in response to the pump. This is also another way to kill Painter, which is nice. But there is a world there I could be aggressive and win with Flicker Wisp. EE for 2 is going to be okay. I should have done this main phase because I could I could get the port and then make them tap down the Scalding Tarn, but I think this works out anyway. All right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Let me know if you would sideboard any differently. Here is the sideboard. I could flicker the creature, but then they get a 3/3 blocker. Oh, it goes straight in. Interesting hand, but I don't think I want to keep it. Yeah. Flickering the Labyrinth? I definitely could have. I guess my only thought was if they had a land into Painter in their hand. I didn't think they played a land that turn before the EE, but maybe they did. It is midnight, so definitely miss a few things. I'm going to mulligan this aggressively. Okay, I'll definitely keep this. And I'll bottom 1 planes. I'm going to bottom 2 cards. Then it's going to be the Wasteland. Maybe bottoming the Wasteland was a little bit aggressive, but I feel like I had the highest upside of drawing a land of anything. Yikes. Okay. I'm not sure what I want to revoke here yet. Probably just Grindstone. But something like a Staticast is pretty rough as well. Pretty happy to play Revoker. I think Staticast is just the biggest blowout. It's tough as well because Engineered Explosives is pretty big. But Urza Saga puts it into play. So I don't have to worry about Engineered Explosives off this. But I do have to worry about like Pyrite Spellbomb, I guess. Saga can't get explosives? Interesting. Is that why Saga can't get, like, artifact lands? Huh. Okay. I think I will just go with the grind. No. Yeah. That's fine. It's tough because I also know about Gut Shot, so this deck has a lot of different removal spells. I'd rather just go for the combo. Maybe there's a world where I hold up Port there instead of playing Revoker and then Revoker what they get, but then if they're just going to use the mana anyway for Urza Saga, Port doesn't really do anything. But yeah, Saga really good here because it just buys so much time. I could like attack and see if they block and then swords the other one, but if this gets forced, then we just lose the Thalia. Hey VD and Frank, thanks for the follows. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what do you play in Legacy? I don't want to 6 it either because the Pyrite on Thalia I might want to return to my hand. But then it's even a case of do I let the Pyrite resolve on Thalia and hold up Swords to Plowshares? Came from Paris? Very cool. Engineered Explosives would also be pretty good. Just came home from playing Turbo Emery from Norway. Very cool. How did you turn out? What did you play against? You play all blue decks? Cool. Cool. I play all non-blue decks. Chose to not shuffle. I don't know if I want to play the Keg here or not. Keg taps me out, which is pretty rough. I think I'd rather hold up Caracas and just Port. Won against everything that didn't have Null Rod. Lost both games to Null Rod in the final match. Null Rod is pretty good. Brainstorm's okay. You can definitely see how different this game would be if the Vial wasn't taken care of. So the Abrade on the Vial was huge. Brainstorm. I haven't seen this card before. Draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order. Huh. Oh, that's pretty cool with fetch lands. It's new from Strixasian. One of those new D&D cards. So true. Alright. Alright, Bob. What do you got? 2 blue for another Ponder. Really digging here, and I'm not too sure what for. No shuff. Land. Prelate. Prelate not the greatest yet either because of the Pyrite Spellbomb. I think here in upkeep I'm actually supposed to tap down the island so that the Bob can't go like tap down Volk, use the red for Spyrite on Thalia, we return, and then have 4 mana left over, nearly 5 for pretty much the combo if they have LED. At least this can't be used at instant speed for the Pirate Spellbomb. Pyrite. Okay. Still trying to grind away. No card advantage, it's no ancestral. Every one of these fetches as well really adds up. We could just see a painter here to stop Thalia from attacking. Yeah. Cruder. It's gonna keep on getting in for 2. Another Saga is really good. We do have the Powder Keg to clean up though. Who knew Powder Keg would have been the saving grace, if there was going to be a saving grace for this game? All right. Yeah, Deed's pretty sweet. I like Deed. I probably just want to prelate here. But there is a world where Powder Keg's just better. Maybe it is Powder Keg. Because once we can get this to 1, I'll be very happy. I guess 1 doesn't really matter. It's about getting it to 2, which also kills our board. We're going to go with prelate and see how this goes. Because prelate on 1 would be pretty sweet. Actually, I think the best play here was just Recruiter of the Guard for Solitude, because then we have a removal spell in our hand. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us. Is this an EE? This feels like an Engineered Explosives. Alright, we get another turn. Okay. Cool, 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 cool. I do just want to recruit it here. For Solitude. And there's no great attacks here either. I'll let them use the Saga first. If they do use it, they don't. Okay, then I should have... Probably don't need to port here. They can just tap the mana in response anyway. Sure. Okay. I think I actually let this resolve. So my only reason to keep this resolving is that what we can do is tap down the Volk in their turn, so that when we untap, we can play Thalia first, which means they can't force the Powder Keg, which destroys their real way to win here. But it does mean I have to draw another white card for Solitude if I do want to win, or keep them off from winning that way. Which is pretty tough. Yeah, I think I'd rather play what I know than care about Force. Why Powder Keg over Ratchet Bomb? Mainly because it kills artifact lands. That's the big reason I see. Oh, they're going to Gutshot it. That's probably going to be okay. Okay. I can just take this. Flagstones. Resolves. I'm just gonna sack this now. And hope that Solitude is enough. Oh, bolt me? Should I have blocked? Wow. I didn't bolt and that was it. Rough. Tough. Oh, so close. Like maybe like nearly. Yeah, I can't even like hit my own creature to gain the life. It was to block. All right, I'm in the bathroom. I'll be back in a sec. Thank you, Archon. Up against Peter Simon. Pretty happy to keep this. Let's be honest. Turn 1 mum, turn 2 Thalia. With a backup Thalia. Port plan. Hey, Tommy. Welcome. Island. Ponder. Interesting. Definitely a good matchup for Thalia, which is nice. Hey, thanks, Council. Why use flagstones and death and taxes? The small upside of running flagstones is that we're running a card called Cataclysm in the sideboard that makes each player sacrifice permanents, including lands. So if you have this out, wow, they're going to force mum. You get to get a free land off flagstones, which is kind of nice. I guess it's also one less white source that isn't planes that can't be hit by predict naming planes, which is a very minor thing. But that's usually it. The Peter Simon? I'm not sure. I'm not sure who Peter Simon is, unfortunately. Opponent really digging here. They brainstormed without a fetch land, so they're obviously looking for something. Chose to not shuffle. Okay. Probably happy just to play Port here. Into Thalia number 1. Alright. Just basic islands is really interesting. Mountain, okay. True name, okay. Old school blue-red Delver, perhaps? These planes aren't really cutting it. I'm just going to tap down the red source and upkeep just to take them off something like Fork Bolt, if that's in their deck. It is tough if they already have like a Bolt effect in hand, but at least we have second Thalia. Sure. I assume if we tap down an island there, they just use it with the mountain anyway for the Bolt, but at least this takes it off for them a little bit. This one's cool. Recruit is nice, but here I'm pretty happy just to land the Stoneforge again, or the Thalia, and then next turn try to get a Recruiter for... Yeah, probably Stoneforge Mystic. I definitely don't want to see another threat. Well, there's Stoneforge itself. Okay. Get a free attack. They have 2 cards left. I think I just go for Kaldra here. I think that changes the clock. I'd rather race them than try to get there with life gain, because if it gets to a situation where things change, then my opponent can just keep the true name back. So at least the Kaldra keeps the pressure on. It also means if they try to aggressively get rid of the Stoneforge Mystic, we can recruit it for another one to get Kaldra into play. Ragavan. I'm not going to block this. I just hope they don't hit Source to Plowshares or Skyclave. Rishon and Port, sweet. I'm going to see if the Recruiter resolves first. Because if it doesn't, then I want to keep the Thalia back. But if it does, then I think here we're just going to want to get a Wisp. I guess Solitude's also pretty nice. Because Solitude, our own creature, could be the way to win this if we really get in a bad position. So now we can swing for 7, put them down to 9. And then we have lethal the following turn if they have nothing. So I actually don't mind attacking with both creatures here. Opponent has 4 cards in hand. We know 1 is Ragavan. 3 cards. We know 1 is Ragavan. Hey, Lazy. It is past my bedtime. This league did go a little bit longer, but I do like doing a double up. I feel like 2 leagues in a stream is just perfect amount. Looks like they're going to dash. That's fine. This does change the clock because we lose the Recruiter, but I think this is okay. They could have double bolt here as their last 2 cards, which gets them there. But otherwise, it's pretty tough. 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, this puts them down to lethal. So they have to have a blocker. Post Ragavan, okay. Alright, well now we have an out of Caracas. Swords, does Swords do it? No, they gain 2. Well, we can attack with everything. And then hold up Swords and Solitude, which is pretty sweet. Five, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. They have to block. They probably block the Stoneforge Mystic to at least trade. Now the big question is, do I just Solitude the Germ right now to stay alive? Or do I give them the out of drawing into Bolt? I guess if I let them untap 2, 4, 6, they can't hold up Force and Bolt. So I think we're actually okay here. I also want the Wasteland on my side to play around Daze with the Solitude. Nice, okay. Wow. It's not often you race a true name, but Kaldra there was so good. Alright. Revoker can definitely come out. I don't mind dropping on like... Prelate's always an interesting one. Prelate on 1 does sound great, but when I'm wanting to bring in extra removal and Path to Exile and already have Swords to Plowshares, it's pretty rough. I think it might be Keg and Sword. I'm not too sure what I want to take out though. That's the big one. It feels pretty good. Yeah, D&T with the new Modern Horizons cards is a pretty big appeal, so it's nice to switch it up between Maverick and D&T between streams, which is always pretty cool. But yeah, sorry Echo, I haven't texted Sanctifier other than in Legacy Humans, where it was pretty good. Because usually Humans as Graveyard Hate runs things like Grafdigger's Cage or Fairy Macabre. So having it as a 2/2 creature that's also a human was pretty strong. I could see like a Recruiter dropping a little bit of fluff, and maybe even... I'm not sure if it is one of the Kaldras. I could also just see a Thalia going down, to be honest. Especially on the draw. Yeah, really strong shell, which is really nice to see. It's always good to see TNT in a pretty cool spot. I guess Council's Judgment's always okay. Yikes. Pretty happy to mulligan this. Yeah, no, there's a better 5. This is it. Bottom Spirit, bottom Karakas. If they have Ragavan, Karakas is really nice though. It might just be Wasteland and keep a double white hand. Opponent kept 7. You've been playing in blue-white humans? Nice. Very cool to hear. Swords. Might see what they flip first. Or if it even does flip. Flips to bolt. Okay. They're not dashing, which is cool. So I'm just going to swords this. Ponder. We know they have removal. So the Ponder most likely looking for another land drop. Oh, they don't hit it. I wish we kept that Wasteland. Skyclave. Pretty happy just to drop Thalia here. Really, although they have the Bolt, they don't have the other land for it. And there's also taxes their ability to cantrip into one. So they have to naturally draw a land here. Or it puts them really behind. Another Delver's fine. Wisp. Well, now all our spells are uncounterable during this turn, so I'm pretty happy just to get the Stoneforge Mystic online. Because if they flip a land, they don't flip the Delver, which means we also have the Stoneforge back. But if they get a land, I assume they're dealing with the Stoneforge Mystic pretty quickly. But I'm still pretty happy here just to get Kaldra. Because it's pretty much land or bust here. I really hope this Delver does flip. Oh, it does! Haha! I don't think I've ever been happy to see one flip. Rough. I think unfortunately they've just missed many land drops here, where it's really counted. Thalia doing a lot of work. Yeah, I don't think I've ever wanted a Delver to flip so badly. Kaldra, nice. So good. I mean, take 7. Plus we have the backup of Solitude now. Insane. Okay. Still no lands, but double Delver is definitely a way to go, but we are winning this race, which is pretty good for us. And the removal spell in hand that we have in Path to Exile means that they don't gain life off the creature if they do find another one. Okay. Well, that changes things a little bit. I mean, Bolt off the top actually does it for them, which is pretty crazy. Still happy just to jam. Because we can be the reactive people. We can be the reactive player, sorry. That's fine. Because now they're still away. Boyd, I like that you're still up. I like that you're still watching. They can't attack. Yeah, they can't attack. I think here I'm happy to path. It will come in tapped, but it means that they don't have enough creatures to survive. I guess if we draw a land, but otherwise it's pretty tough as well. A lurk? Nice. Too kind, Void. Especially on a Monday. Pretty happy to see how they block first. They have to block either the Thalia or the Caldride, or the Caldra. So first strike is going to kill the Delver, which is pretty sweet. That's fine. Now it's probably just Flicker Wisp and then Flicker the Caracas so we can hold it up for the Thalia if it's really needed, but I don't think it is. Unfortunately, it's the case of my opponent just having the one lander. And they couldn't get out of it before Thalia hit the board and then couldn't cast any cantrips or removal on the Thalia. Yeah. But there's other wins we take. Alright. We did 4-1 the first league, so it would be nice to finish this on a 4-1 as well. Decks felt pretty solid. Had a good mix of vial hands and non-vial hands, and it's always nice to experience both, because obviously the deck plays really smooth with turn 1 vial, but sometimes you just have to play out a game by just casting creatures and kind of seeing how the other side of the deck works. Alright, on the play. What was Bob on the third round? This is an amazing hand, I'll keep this. He was on Blue-Red Painter. Hey, King of Pawners. Yeah, it's 12:30 Monday morning, bright and early. But I wanted to give you guys a bit more of a stream than just the this Sunday morning stream. Turn 1 Mum is also pretty strong. Yeah, a lot of decks just have to have removal for it, because obviously a Ponder is not going to do it. Yeah, it's a sweet deck. It was actually a really good game. If you want to catch it, you'll be able to catch it on YouTube after this. Which, if anyone in chat wants to find it, you can find all my games at youtube.com/Dukes on Twitch. Also, if you're a fan of legacy content, check out the greensunzenith.com. It is a website dedicated to Legacy Maverick, which is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool deck. What can I say? All right. Aha! Ah, they're on humans. This is nice to see. This is always a pleasure. Look at that. Look at that. Too good. Probably okay just to play out Thalia here. Revoker's pretty nice. They don't have a turn 1 Mum, so pretty happy about that. But humans is going to be interesting. I wonder... Oh, this might be an Eldrazi version. Sigh. Okay. We do have Caracas for it, which is really nice. I didn't expect this. I did not expect this. I think I'm still happy just to Caracas this. And try to keep the swords for something else. There's even a world where I want to attack with both creatures here. Mono blue Karn Echo. Yeah, I think I'm happy to then attack with both. This way we can hold up sword and Revoker. Yeah, I'm not too scared of any main deck removal outside of something like Walking Ballista, perhaps. City. They're going to return this now, which is interesting because we have the Vial. So we'll see what they want to do. They want to cast Sai. Alright, well I'm still going to put in Thalia here. Let Sai resolve and probably just swords it. Knowing they have the Caracas now. This also means that they can't force the swords, thanks to Thalia's effect. So a few upsides. I also want to hold the Revoker until I have a really good name. So I'm actually going to keep the Vial on 2 next turn. It also works really well with Thalia and Caracas, so this will be a no. Can we draw a Wasteland or a Port? No, but Stoneforge Mystic's pretty absurd. I'm pretty happy to play out Stoneforge here to go and get Kaldra. And then attack again with both. Yeah. All right. Cool deck so far. I mean, we've only seen the Sai, but very cool to see Sai in Legacy. Sai is an amazing card. Especially against fair decks. If you can get going with your Thopters, it can be pretty hard to come back from. I guess Kaldra's a pretty good way to get through them, but yeah, Sai's always going to be tough. Saga, okay. Pinnacle D&T here. Yeah, definitely. Just a little bit of taxing. What do we got? Mox Opal. That's going to be fine by itself. There's currently no other artifacts in play. Now we have Bauble. That's going to be okay. Alright. There is a world where I just blind, like, Khan here. To get some more damage in. Because the next turn I can swing for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put them to 5. And then they're pretty dead. Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely Vial then. Wisp. Alright. That probably seals it, which is good for us. They can crack a Thalia, that's very correct. If they crack a Thalia, we probably just replay it in the second main. Yeah, just in case of some sort of blowout. I'm pretty happy just to replay Thalia here and then hold up Revoker and then untap and hold up Flicker Wisp, which should be it. It should be enough. Yeah, so we missed 2 damage. Seat, sure. Bauble. This turns on the Mox, which is probably fine. Emery. That's going to be okay. We have the Caracas for it. We could name Mox, yeah. I feel like there's a bigger creature to go for. I think I will just name Khan here. To be fair, do we really care about Khan? It might just be Bauble. Yeah. Now we can tick this up. Stoneforge. Yeah, so if we return Emery here, we can swing for 1. This won't get through. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. I guess if they want to correct the construct, they have to tap out. So they might actually not be able to return the Thalia here. So this actually works out pretty well. Yeah, thankfully. Hey Zachrom, thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what do you play in Legacy? Nice. This is going to be an interesting one. So we saw Hull Breacher, Chalice, Mishra's Bauble. So I'm going to say this is like a mono blue Urza deck. So I think we want the Deafening Silences. The Powder Keg, for sure. Surgicals are interesting. I'm not too sure if I want Surgical or Rest in Peace. Mainly for Echo, but also for Emery. Cataclysm's also pretty interesting. Returning to Legacy and not decided yet what to play. Very cool. What did you play before you left? It's obviously a fair amount of decks right now that are viable, which is cool. So I think I'm trimming some amount of mums. I probably don't mind trimming some amount of Thalias as well. Consider Sword over Jitte. Yeah, I could definitely see that. You think all the mums? Yeah, it might even just be a case of keeping 1 in. Just in case it is relevant to get through some of their blue creatures. I actually don't mind going down on all Thalias, especially seeing Karakas. Replacing Thalia with Deafening Silence actually seems pretty nice. We can take out the Jitte for Sword. I do like that. That also acts as like a mother. I could see... This is currently that. Maybe just the 2 rips. Last deck you played was Delver with Oko and Ren and 6. Nice. Blue-Red Delver is pretty strong right now. A little bit expensive because of Ragavans, especially for what they are. You are just buying those for kind of that deck, but pretty sweet card. Judgment's also interesting. It's just extra removal. It might just be the 2 Rest in Pieces and drop like 1 Recruiter. What am I prelating for? Am I really prelating for 4 or 0? Probably not. I think prelate is a little bit too topsy-turvy that this is okay. How's D&T in the meta? It's pretty solid. I think it has a lot of game against Delver. Right now it's quite good. It's not too bad against the mid-range decks because it can grind, which is also pretty powerful. You do just lose to some of the fast combo decks, which is gonna come and go, but that's just Legacy. You're gonna have downsides with every deck. But I think overall it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. It's tier 1 if you play Beta Basics. We'll mulligan this. It's a little bit too slow. This is pretty slow, but it does have Deafening Silence. And Caldra for Stoneforge. The question is, even though we can play the speed bump of Deafening Silence, what is this hand really doing outside of just porting? I feel like there's about a 5. Pretty close. I'm going to bottom the Recruiter and a Plains. This is a pretty good 5. Even though it doesn't have Deafening Silence, it has some interaction. Chalice for 1 would be Retrofitter. Okay. Mox. Batterskull. That's pretty nice. Prismatic Ending? Nice. Alright. I do consider Port here, because if we draw a Wasteland, we could Wasteland, hold up Port, or hold up Stoneforge. And then the following turn already have the Port in play in case we draw another Wasteland. Hey, Roger. Powder Keg hits artifact lands, which is pretty big against the new Affinity decks that are running around, which is pretty cool. But I assume there's also an upside with not having to double tap, once to get counters and then once to sack it. Yeah, Thalia is definitely interesting. I think Thalia is okay, but there are some matchups where it can be a little bit rough. It just doesn't, yeah, it taxes in a weird way. Which isn't the greatest explanation. But I usually find, because I'm bringing in so much non-creature hate as well, sometimes Thalia is taxing me a little bit more than it's taxing my opponent. At least here we get to hold up swords. Get a flyer. Yeah, artifact lands is pretty huge. I didn't really think about that either until it kind of occurred, which is pretty funny. Ending on that, that's pretty good. We do have Spatterscale coming, which isn't too bad. Hey Kurt, thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what do you play in Legacy? Another sword. Probably just holding up Stoneforge here with Caracas and land. This is going to be fine. I could actually turn off the Chrome Mox here by swordsing the Construct, but I'm not sure if I want to do that. I will have to deal with it at some point, so I actually don't mind swordsing this. But that makes it does make my port a little bit awkward. I think I am just going to hold up Batterskull here instead of porting. The one really nice thing about Retrofitter Foundry in a deck like Ninjas, there's Urza. Urza's probably going to get just a sword here. One, two, three, four, five. But it's tough. I could try to return it. Hey Kirch from Spain, very cool. Retrofitter Foundry is really good in Legacy Ninjas because of cards like Changeling Outcast and Ornithopter. Can turn on Ninjutsu, but then also create a 4/4 out of nowhere. But in these builds, it's pretty sweet because it's just an extra kind of use of mana. I'm going to let this resolve. Returning it does give him more constructs. I was trying to think of a way to... What's the equip? 7. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to think of a way to like turn off their green sources by like porting them as well. Hey Simbo, and Is He the Best? And Free Charles, thanks for the follows. A huge thank you. Today's stream has been awesome. You guys make it as good as it is. I guess if we draw a land here, Oh, okay. I could just equip and swing, which is pretty interesting. Or I could attack and then hold up return. I'm just going to attack. See how they block. They are going to block. Interesting. So now we can wasteland the seat to make this smaller. Hey Diddy, a huge thank you for continuing the gift sub from Min. That's really nice. Alright. Now I think we just hold up the return here of Batterskull to then recast with Stoneforge Mystic the following turn. Ah, very cool. It's definitely a pretty nice thing to be able to put so much time into. Yikes. Sai's going to get out of hand here. Into a deck like D&T. Hey D-Dash, thanks for the follow. I hope you're well. I have cast a Thalia or two in my time, that is correct. Alright. I don't think Wizards is trying to kill Legacy, but they've definitely made some considerations which are interesting. Yeah, Kaldra needs some sort of play to it. Alright. They do get to retrofit here. No attack with the flyer, interesting. Oh. What are they doing here? Petty Theft return that? That's okay. This means we get to search up again. Interesting use of Petty Theft. Swords. They do get to sack this here, that's fine. Yeah, really odd, but maybe they have a plan that I just don't see. Maybe they want to force it? Okay. They pitch the Sai, interesting. I guess that is a plan. But, yeah. I think my main out here is getting this Kaldra onto the Batterskull to get trample so that sacking creatures in response to blocking isn't a thing. Yeah, the only other thought I was thinking of was maybe like Chalice for 2 if they could do it in the same turn, but obviously they didn't. Flickwisp? Flickwisp would be huge. Recruiter. Oh. Okay. Recruiter can get Flickwisp. Another force. Rough. No great attacks here. At least they're getting to a position where they can't actually use their Ancient Tombs, which is pretty huge. There's also a world where I should have actually swords the Thopter there so they couldn't exchange it, because it is tap and sack, yeah. Revoke is really strong. Revoke is actually probably the best draw I could have gotten, outside of Flicker Wisp. Hey Mark, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Strass Daddy is another Maverick player, which is very cool to see. They're going to cast the Borrower, which is fine, because it currently isn't a creature that can block. So they go back to 4. So still pretty close to the Ancient Tombs being ineffective. And this deck doesn't have a great way to gain life, so we're in a pretty good spot. Yeah, did the double upstream, which is pretty sweet. Ooh, Judgment? Ooh, Judgment does it, right? I could tap down the mana, but I think this is fine. I don't think they have an out to this. Oh, they have the other force. Righto. Alright, you got it. I'm probably still happy to attack, and then next turn I can just equip the Revoker anyway. Gav streams are really good. Yeah, Basic Swamps is a great streamer. Big fan of Gav. A big supporter of the Green Sun Zenith as well. Alright. We could definitely attack with both. That was definitely incorrect not to. Yeah. Sorry, I was just interacting with chat that I got a little bit carried away. But I think we're in a good position nevertheless. I didn't attack with both because I am a poor player who didn't see the line to attack with both creatures. Nice. Alright, we go 4-1-4-1, which is pretty sweet. Definitely can't be too unhappy with that. Deck tech. Deck was sweet. Deck was really fun. Yeah, thankfully they were just in a tough position that it probably didn't matter, but yeah, pretty happy with that. Hey D1, thanks for the follow. List was sweet. I mean, the only change we made was adding in the 4th Flicker Wisp over Charming Prince, which I kind of just liked as a fun of. It still reset creatures from as early as Violin 2, but I think Flicker Wisp being able to reset Kaldra is just the main reason to play, or that I want to play all 4 Flicker Wisp. But I could definitely see like another Skyclave instead of Flicker Wisp, or some sort of flex slot, which is pretty cool. Bubbles, you're more than welcome. But yeah, this is awesome. This is a huge stream, which is cool. And to go, yeah, 8-2 is very sweet. D&T seems like it's in a really nice spot. Ran into a bunch of matches as well, which is cool. So if you do want to check those from the first stream and you didn't catch them, you can catch them on my YouTube here. I did 2 streams this morning as well, playing Green White Black Maverick, which will be on there as well. Hey Zara, you got pretty unfortunate with some of your draws, which is pretty tough. When you went Cavern Human, I thought you were on Humans, and then you went City of Traders into Psy, which unfortunately we had the Caracas for Psy and you couldn't really go wide with it, but that would have definitely been an issue, especially in game 1. If you can get the Psy on board and start casting a bunch of spells, it's going to be pretty rough for me, but yeah, even in game 2, you had some good setup, but the Ancient Tombs really hurt, and the ability for me to go Kaldra into Batterskull was also pretty nice, so yeah, good games. Good games. Looking forward to the next one, which I'm sure will be in the near future. Yeah, D&T is interesting. A lot of people just look at it and see it like, how do these white cards get there? But it's definitely more a sum of all parts, which is pretty cool. I'm kind of rambling because it is 1 a.m. So I'm going to quickly see who is streaming the challenge because I assume someone is there. A huge thank you to the new subs, the new followers. It's been sweet. It's been really cool. So I'm going to send you guys over to Into Play, who is... How do we end the league? The first one we went 4-1. The second one we went 4-1. So, not too bad. Went down to Oops All Spells and Blue Red Painter, which is pretty sweet. Hey Zara, thanks for the Prime sub. A huge thank you. Too kind. Too kind. All right, enjoy. Enjoy weekends. Stay safe, and I'll be back on Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Enjoy, guys. Thank you very much. Cheers. Nice.